24 hours in a day, but I be streaming. I don't care about a bust down, I'm stacking to the ceiling. I grind so much, I can't be a human being. Europe's new cocaine kings, the Albanian Mafia, the war on drugs.
If you've bought cocaine in Europe any time in the last 5 years, chances are it's passed through an Albanian organised crime group.
Man, Albania, you guys need to stop transferring drugs. Why don't we transfer peace instead? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, there's a lot of other stuff that you can sell besides cocaine. Just saying.
Unë ime lëndër është kokain, lëvizim me kilo. Unë lëvizim deri në 50 kilo në javë.
I got shot here 20 times. I'm alive.
Wait, 20 times?
50 kilo në javë.
I got shot here 20 times.
Plenty times. Bro, if you got shot there plenty times, why is there not a scar? Or maybe he's that big, not trying to violate, he's that big bodied that his belly just swallowed up the bullets. Do you know what I'm trying to say, chat? Like, there is no... Wait, maybe is it blurred out? No, it's not even blurred out.
I'm alive. Plenty of my friends, they dead.
Over the past decade, Albanian crime groups have overtaken all rivals to become some of the most crucial players in global drug trafficking. This is how criminal networks from a tiny European country have revolutionized the international cocaine business.
The war on drugs, the Albanian Mafia.
Europeans love coke. In fact, in 2021, reports...
I'm not gonna lie, that's honest facts, bro. When I was working for this, this I'm not gonna say what I was working for, yeah. But man, imagine now, I'm chilling with this guy called Phil, and Phil just casually backs out a line, bro. I'm like, he's like, do you want some? Phil is 34 years old. I was 18 at the time. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And for these type of guys, that shit is normal, bro. That shit is normal. Popping that is just normal.
emerged that the European cocaine market
Like, it makes them focus.
had surpassed the US in value for the first time ever.
Bro said, W Albania, we want that #1 spot. Hey, guys.
This decade-long explosion in European coke habits has largely been supplied by a relatively new type of trafficker. The highly successful organised crime groups drawn from Albanian communities all over the continent.
Wait, that's a whole bag of cocaine? How much are they moving?
But like dragged into it by some Albanians. That's how I got into it first, really.
There's always Albanian gangs about. There's a 24/7 service. You call up any time of the day. They'll come drop you. Just give them an address. It's like McDonald's but for drugs.
Albania is a small country with a population of under 3 million. For decades, it was ruled by a brutal authoritarian communist regime.
Bro said, would you ever try coke? Do I look like I would ever try coke? Are you smoking chicken bone? Do I look like I would ever try coke? Closest thing to coke for me is creatine or protein powder. That's how it should stay. What do you mean you don't know if I'll try? Bro, I wouldn't try that stuff. Like, that's like, no, bro. Anything up my nose, needles, things of that nature, stay away from me. I'm not trying that stuff. If you guys want to try that stuff, go try that stuff. But me personally, nah, I'm good.
Which is actually part of the reason it's now become so prominent in international organised crime.
We tended to see that many of the former communist security sectors were made redundant by the state. So they either tended to go into kind of these more informal organisations and networks, or they kind of went into private security provision, which then very easily also become kind of transposed into illicit activities and informal activities.
Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Albania suffered a series of wars and financial crises, which not only flooded the country with weapons, but caused thousands of refugees to flee to the rest of Europe and North America.
Many of these were youngsters. They had family connections back in Albania, which they maintained, and recognizing.
So, like, how did this get them to start selling cocaine, though? Do you know what I'm saying? I want to see the borderline of how did it, you know what I'm saying? How did they get the cocaine? If you're such a small island, I mean, such a small country, like, how do you get the cocaine?
That it was important for them to make.
Oh my days, I just deeped it. You can make cocaine. Sorry. That was slow. That was slow of me.
Maintain those family connections in order to grow as a criminal organization.
Albanian criminal groups have been heavily involved in drug trafficking for decades. largely working with Turkish networks supplying heroin on the route from Afghanistan.
Hey man, shout out the Turks, bro. Shout out the Turks. Hey, anything to do with drugs, guns, anything. Hey, Turks are always involved. Obviously, I'm not trying to violate the Turk. You know what, done it, man. Some of those guys are criminals, bro. Those guys are criminals, bro. Bro thought coke grew on trees. Bro, I thought that you could grow it for a quick second. I mean, I've never heard of someone say, I'm proud to be Albanian, so eventually it's bad. What do you mean? There's a lot of guys that say that they're proud to be Albanian.
Into Europe. Then, in the 1990s, Albania exploded as a hub for European cannabis production.
Over the years, this once poor, desolate village became a European marijuana.
That's what I was about to say. Why don't they sell weed?
Absolute mountains of stuff. Traffickers dealt directly with farmers.
My Jamaican side is kicking in. Shit. I'm joking.
Bigger farmers became bigger players. Organized crime moved in.
But what's really set the Albanian organized crime group
I'm surprised
apart
Snoop
is
ain't
how,
there.
since around the mid-2000s, they've revolutionized the cocaine trade.
We've had the allies. They are the biggest drug exporters.
Traditionally, the different parts of the cocaine business were kept separate. South American cartels would sell to international traffickers who would smuggle the drug around the world, but would usually sell it on to local criminal groups to distribute on the streets.
So, like, how do you have this information, though? Like, how does a cameraman never get hurt in these situations? How do they have all this information, but the police don't? Is the police doing anything about it? Do you know what? I feel like the drug problem is so expensive to stop that they just let it happen. Do you get what I'm trying to say? I feel like it's so expensive. They could get rid of it, but it's just so expensive to the point where they're like, oh, you know what? That costs too much to get rid of that problem. Let's just let it happen. Do you know what I'm saying? But control it, though. Do you know what I'm saying? He probably played GTA and did some deep analysis, playing as a role-player co-op.
The Albanians took control of the entire chain. They went out to South America, formed their own contacts with the cartels, and organized transportation back to their own suppliers in Europe, who would distribute the drugs for maximum profit.
So are there Albanian criminal members in Colombia who the clan deals with?
Yeah, of course, there's Albanians in Colombia. Usually it's really pure. They're known for being aggressive. Oh my days, I got told that like Albanians are like, hear me out, I'm not even trying to say it like that, but you know, the monkeys of Europe, I don't know if that's offensive. But apparently, like, yeah. Anyways, who said that? That's what I heard. Like, I heard some of you. What do you mean? Is that racist? I don't know. If that's racist, I apologize. You know what I'm saying? But like, that's what somebody said to me. Like, basically, like they're aggressive. Basically, they're aggressive.
The Albanian supply model has been so successful, and the only way that they would make more money was if they were able to go to the source of the drug. So instead of purchasing these drugs from other drug dealers, they decided that let's move and let's gain those connections with South.
Yo, this guy's bold and has no hair. I deadass believe everything he's saying. You know what I'm saying? Every drug lord, they be bold. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen a guy that sells drugs on a crazy level that isn't bold from all the stress that they're taking on.
South America and then ship these drugs in. They completely took over the whole drug trade in terms of cocaine.
There'd been a series of high-profile killings and arrests of Albanian
He looks like he knows what he's talking about. I lie.
From Ecuador to New York to the Netherlands. Albanians now make up by far the largest percentage of foreign-born inmates in British prisons.
What?
And the EU crime agency's biggest ever operation was specifically targeted at the Albanian...
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Shit, I might have to start glazing the Albanians, no cap. I didn't even know it was that big of a deal. I didn't even know it was that big of a deal. What do you mean they're occupying most of the prisons in the UK, bro? Do you know when guys, when I was in school and that, yeah, guys would be like, yo, man, the Albanians or the Turks, they got it. You know what I'm saying? We get it from the Turks or the Albanians. I didn't know that it's that big of an organization that they count for most of the crime, bro.
group Campania Bello. Inevitably, this has led to some myths and misconceptions about how these groups operate. The first is that there's some kind of single shadowy organization operating as the Albanian Mafia.
The reality is that rather than being kind of these very hierarchically organized, tightly disciplined structures that we saw, for example, with the Italian Mafia organization.
Clearly, it wasn't tightly disciplined if they're in prison. Clearly, it wasn't tightly disciplined if they are most of the guys in prison. They doing something wrong. There's something wrong with that business model. There's something wrong with that business model. It needs an update. That business model needs an update.
What we have instead is more kind of regional-based, clan-based, family-based networks.
The other great myth about the Albanian organized crime groups.
Albanians are getting arrested in the UK more than any other country people. What does that mean, country people? You mean the blacks? I'm joking. I'm playing. Yo.
They are uniquely violent and brutal.
If you cross them, they're gonna use violence. Kidnapping, taken away, not to be returned again.
What?
Just make it disappear.
There's no doubt that Albanian drug traffickers use extreme violence. But every drug trafficking organization uses violence. In an illegal marketplace, this is pretty much the only way to enforce contracts and intimidate rivals.
By kidnapping people?
Albanian criminal groups are uniquely violent in ways that other traffickers aren't really just feeds into familiar cycles of misinformation that go back decades in the war on drugs.
The way that the operations of these groups is presented is that the success, as it were, of specific trafficking organisation or criminal groups is determined by their proclivity to violence. In the case of the Albanians, what we're seeing is instead of the...
Bro, what is this actual, the real stuff that they're carrying around, bro? What, bro, do you know you can make a swimming pool out of this? Do you know you could build a snowman out of how much this is? I don't think we're fathering this, bro. You could build like 3 snowmen out of this, bro. This is dark.
Ability for
That's what I carry around.
It's more the capacity for entrepreneurship, a willingness of mobility, a capacity to move around globally.
Of course, some Albanian criminals are often happy for people to think they are ultra-violent killers, which can lead to groups like the Hellbanians in the UK.
Yo, what, the Hellbanians? Wait, so the Hellbanians actually do sell drugs? Damn!
Literally advertise their trigger-happy, narco-bling lifestyles and in music videos.
That's how they got that tank!
But the real power in Albanian drug trafficking isn't held by street-level gangs like the Hellbanians, but by sophisticated, tightly controlled trade networks that stretch over continents.
Wait, there's worse than the Hellbanians!
In reality, the Albanian traffickers haven't
There's
achieved
worse than the
power
Hellbanians,
primarily
bro!
through starting wars with other criminal groups, but through forming business relationships with them.
God bless Albania. We keep good relationship, otherwise there is no hope.
How dare you say, nah, hold on, we need to, wait, 3 steps back. How dare you say this in the same sentence? God bless Albanians. We need to keep the relationship good, or there's no coke. God bless Albanians. Relationship good so we could get more coke. How do you fit that into one sentence and think that you're mentally sane? These have to be some crazy ass people, chat. I'm telling you. How do you put God, cocaine in the same sentence? That's crazy. Damn.
Goes from Colombia with the big boats. Sometimes come to Albania. From here we go Montenegro, Serbia, Bosnia.
When the Albanian crime inflict violence, it's very often to maintain internal discipline, rather than fighting other groups over territory. This is helped by the fact that wherever in the world they operate, their workers can be controlled through threats of violence against their families back in Albania.
Kapet një nga policia, zem shembull, kapëm unë nga policia, do vi një tjetër mas radhës time. Si më thjesht, se ti ke një familje këtu, dhe normalisht do bashkë të shqiptajnë ata. Për mua është më mirë që ty unë Hamburg se sa...
Better to go to prison than for my family than to be buried under the ground.
So often in the war on drugs, the ability...
Bro, I'm not giving you the end pass. That's a 10-minute timeout. Shit, 10-minute timeout. Calm yourself down.
To buy and sell politicians and...
You sound like an average American cousin with connections.
Ops is as important as the ability to buy and sell cocaine or heroin. What most empowers the Albanian organised crime groups is that they're deeply woven into the country's ruling class.
Former Minister of the Interior, Samir Tahiri, received a 3-year sentence for abuse of power. The court found he had inexplicable links to a distant cousin convicted of trafficking 3.8 tons of drugs to Italy.
I think what's problematic for Albania is that they've actually tried very, very hard to be a good and compliant partner. Because EU membership, accession to the EU has been, the real push for successive Albanian governments.
Illegal drug trafficking is ultimately just a business. And the Albanian organised crime groups have taken over the industry not by being sociopathic monsters, but simply by being more efficient and innovative business people than anyone else.
So basically, technically, what he's trying to say is they're entrepreneurs. Shit. Chat, I got an idea. If there's enough of us, I feel like we can pull it off. Yo, they're basically entrepreneurs, like, bro.
By killing a fair few people along the way.
Who do you buy it from?
I have an Albanian friend that I go to.
Albanian?
Yes.
What's different about him compared to other dealers?
Ooh, so much more efficient.
And as long as these drugs
so much
remain
more
illegal,
efficient,
it is these types of business people who will continue to thrive and make billions.
We'd like to congratulate drugs for winning the war on drugs.
Yo, man, I'm not gonna lie, chat, bro. After this video, I feel like we might need to go join the Albanians. We might need to go join the Albanians, get our money up, not our funny up. Because, bro, you said billions? You said billions? Hey, there's always gonna be drugs out there, chat. If I don't do it, who will? Yo, who will? We will join them. We will join them. Yo, we will join them, bro. Kuchezi.